What's up guys and welcome back to the channel. And in today's video, I want to do a tutorial on the PS command in Linux. And what I want to do is explore the purpose of the PS command and how to use it effectively to monitor processes running on your Linux system. So let's dive in. So before we get started, what is the PS command? Well, the PS command is a powerful tool that helps you manage and monitor the processes running on your system. Each process is associated with a program running on your system and is responsible for managing various resources like memory, processor time, and I/O. So therefore, understanding the output of PS is essential for troubleshooting the health and state of your Linux system. So let's hop over to my virtual machine so I can show you guys some examples. So let's start with the basic usage of the PS command. And the first thing I like to do is show the man page. This is where you can get a lot of help when it comes to this command. It breaks down all the options and it gives you a general overview of the command. So let's go there first and let's just type man PS, and man stands for manual, just so you guys know. But PS command basically reports a snapshot of the current processes. And this is something that I was going to say at the end, but if you look in the description, it says PS displays information about a selection of active processes. If you want a repetitive update of the selection and the displayed information, use top instead. If you guys haven't heard of top has been around for a long time, but it basically updates every couple of seconds so you can get a snapshot that's actively being updated and you can get a better overview of what's going on with processes that way. And there are other versions of top out there, and I won't go down that road, but I just wanted to at least point it out. But HTOP, PyTop, it's a whole bunch of tops out there that you can use in order to see this information. And a lot of those other versions of top, they incorporate other information into it, like networking information, just to make it a generalized tool that shows you a lot more information that ties to the processes running on the system. So let's go down and quit the man page and show you guys the first command, which is PS with no options. And when you run the command without any options, it displays information about processes bound by the controlling terminal. And so let's break down the output. And as you can see, there are 4 different columns for the base command. There's PID, TTY, time, and CMD. Now, PID stands for the processor ID. And this is basically a identifier for the process that is unique. So each process that's running on your system receives a unique identifier to distinguish them from other processes running on the system. Now, the TTY represents the controlling terminal associated with the process. And then the time indicates the CPU usage of the process. And finally, the CMD or command displays the name of the command or executable that's running that generated this process. Now, let's talk about some of the options you can use with the PS command. And one of the things I need to break down for informational purpose is that the PS command accepts different styles of options. And those options are the Unix style, the BSD style, and the GNU style of options. Now, the Unix style option requires a dash. So let me go down and type PS and then put a dash there. So, and then you put your options there. Now, the BSD style option excludes the dash, so you don't have to put a dash there when it comes to the options. And the GNU style uses dash dash for the options that you can run with that style of the PS command. And just so you guys know, mixing these styles can result in inconsistent behavior across Linux distributions. So maybe a little bit different depending on what distro you're actually using. And throughout this video, majority of the commands I'll use will be in a Unix style, but I'll kind of cover like a BSD style on some options as well, just so you guys can see the examples. And let me show you guys a quick Unix example right fast. Let's just run aux right fast. So ps-aux, those are the options. And just to break it down, you only have to put the dash one time and you can put the different options versus going through and putting a dash per option like this. Well, you can exclude those dashes for the other options, and run them all together just with one dash, just so you guys know. And let's go down and run this right fast. And I'll go back up to the top so you guys can see the title of each column. And I won't break down each one, but as you can see, the aux option provides like more detailed information, including like usernames, which is under that user column, which is the first one. And it also has CPU and memory usage percentages. Now, also a cool thing that pops up is the virtual memory size. So you can see that right here, VSZ. That's what's represented under there, and a whole lot more, but we won't go through them all. I just wanted to kind of show you guys that. And actually, I'll go through the stat column with the next command that I wanted to show you guys. And if you look at this, this kind of reminds you of what is shown in top. It's just static. It's not being updated. This is just a snapshot with the PS command. I wanted to point that out again. It's just a snapshot in time. Now let's go back down and show you guys another option. I just want to break down one of the options that we used in the PS aux. Let's go down and run it in the BSD style. And let's just run PSX. And this option is to view all processes owned by the current user. So let's go down and press enter. And there we go. It brings up an actual extra column in here. As you can see, it doesn't pull up the same information as the aux, but it pulls up another column right here. So stat, and I wanted to break that down. Now the stat represents the state information of each process, and there are different state codes, and they indicate whether a process is running, sleeping, stopped, or in other states. And just to break down a couple of the options, we'll start with this first one. So it has a capital S and then a lowercase s. Well, the capital S signifies that the process is in an interruptible sleep state, waiting for an event like some user input. And so as you can see, the command is systemd -- user. And then there's a lowercase s right next to it, and a lowercase s indicates that the process is a session leader, often referring to the root process. So that's mainly what that means. And let's see if we can find one with the R. The R indicates that the command is actively running, which is not now, but during the running of this command, it snapped it as an actively running command on the system. And just so you guys know, this plus right here, you'll see that, but that indicates that the process is a foreground process. Just to break that down, just to give you some information on it. And once you start running this command, you'll start seeing other options in here, like for instance, the T, sometimes you'll see that. And it basically just shows that snapshot, and it's all based on what's going on at that current moment. Now let's move on to another option. Let's go down to the bottom. And what I want to do is show an option you can use that will highlight parent-child relationship between processes. And this is the H option. So let's go down and run that as well. So I'm gonna run it in that BSD format. I'm gonna just put the capital H in there with no dash and press enter. And boom, as you can see, it pulls it in using the process hierarchy and showing the parent-child relationship between processes. And basically, this will help you understand how processes are related to each other in a tree-like structure. Now, let me show you guys another option that you can add to H in order to pull in a little bit more information. It will look a whole lot better. But let me show you guys the PS E -E. I'm gonna use -E for it and press enter. And that way you can see a little bit more. And what this flag will do is print out all the processes within the system, not just the ones from the current terminal. And so we can combine these two, and it will give you a little bit more information so you can see that child parent relationship. So let's just run PS and then -E, and then let's put them separate so you guys can see, but capital H, and press enter. And as you can see, you'll see it a whole lot better. And this looks familiar to you too as well if you use top or HTOP a lot. At least in HTOP, where you can see the parent-child relationship. You can see things that are running, underneath a specific process. And by them using that tab in there, that kind of distinguishes it. You see right here systemd, and then you got systemd journal. These are our child processes running under this main process of systemd. That's a better example of seeing that H in action. Okay, so another useful feature of the PS command is the ability to customize the output format. And there's an option called O. and you can specify the columns you want to display in the output. So let me go ahead on and show you guys an example. So if we type, let's go down and clear, but if we type PS and then -O, and like I said, this will allow you to specify each column that you want to see. So you have to just type in those column names and type it in lowercase. But let's say we want to look at the process ID. Let's say we want to look at the stat as well. And then let's just check out the user and then just CMD as the command. So let's go down and press enter. Boom. That'll put the output out there based on how you specified it. And as you can see, it pulls in those 4 columns for us in the order that we specified. And you can change the order. So this is a good way of putting it into a different format. Let's say you want to use this information for something else. You want to output it to a file. Like for instance, let's see the stat at the beginning. So let's go down and press enter. Boom, it'll show us the stat at the beginning, the status at the beginning, and then the process ID. So however you want to do it, you can break it out, put it in different formats, so you can see the information. And let's add something else here. Let's add at the end the CPU usage. So I think it's % and CPU, press enter. Yeah, there we go. So % CPU, and you can throw that however you want it in there. So it's a good way to grab information that you want to see, put it in a specific order that you want to see it in, so you can get the output that you want. And so as you can see, the PS command is a versatile tool for monitoring and managing processes within your Linux system on your Linode. And by understanding its various options and output formats, you can gain valuable insight into the state of your system and troubleshoot issues effectively. Now that concludes our tutorial on the PS command in Linux. I hope you found it informative and helpful. If you did, please like, share, and subscribe to our channel. And if you have any questions, please leave comments down in the comments below. Hope you guys have a wonderful day, and peace.